All of the phones except for the Huawei Mate 10 come with an 18:9 aspect ratio. The Mate 10 comes with a 16:9. The Mate 10 Pro and the V10 both have 6-inch displays. The 7X has a 5.9-inch display. And the Mate 10 with its 16:9 aspect ratio has a 5.9-inch display, which is wider and shorter than the other phones. The Mate 10 Pro and Honor 7X both have back fingerprint sensors, and the Mate 10 and V10 both have the fingerprint sensor on the bottom bezel. Because the Mate 10 has a fingerprint scanner on the bottom bezel, it does have larger top and bottom bezels than the Mate 10 Pro at 10mm instead of 9mm. But it does have thinner side bezels. The V10 has the same top and bottom bezels as the Mate 10, but it has the same side bezels as the Mate 10 Pro. The Honor 7X comes with the biggest bezels, with 11.4mm top and bottom bezels and 4.2mm side bezels. The Mate 10 and Mate 10 Pro both have the same camera location and are both made out of glass. The Honor 7X and V10 both have the camera in the corner and are made out of metal. The Mate 10 Pro does not have expandable storage or a headphone jack, but it does have IP67 water and dust resistant. The Honor 7X and V10 both come with 1080 by 2160 LCD displays. The display on the 7X has a 1940:1 contrast ratio and a 450 nits maximum brightness. The V10 has a slightly higher 500 nits maximum brightness, but a lower 1630:1 contrast ratio. The Mate 10 comes with a 1440 by 2560 display. It uses red, green, blue, and white subpixels instead of just red, green, and blue to help save battery, and it has a much higher maximum brightness than the 7X and V10 at 630 nits and a contrast ratio of 1380:1. The Mate 10 Pro comes with a 1080 by 2160 OLED display, which has an infinite contrast ratio, and it also has the same maximum brightness as the Mate 10. Unfortunately, none of these phones have pressure sensitivity because it cannot be used on any display above the 5.8-inch screen size of the iPhone 10. But Huawei is planning on a new method of pressure sensitivity called 4D touch, which will probably be included on the Huawei P20. The Huawei Mate 10 and Mate 10 Pro both come with the same dual camera setup. They both come with a 12 megapixel color camera and a 20 megapixel black and white camera. The color camera comes with optical image stabilization, but the black and white camera does not. Huawei has f1.6 lenses on both of the cameras. The lenses are made by Leica. Previous Huawei phones had done well in controlled laboratory conditions, but not very well in the real world. The Huawei Mate 10 Pro was able to tie with the iPhone 10 on DxO mark. It also added AI object recognition to improve its image processing for real-world usage. The Honor 7X and V10 both come with 16 megapixel cameras. The 7X has an f2.2 aperture, and the V10 comes with an f1.8 aperture. The secondary camera on the Mate 10, Mate 10 Pro, and V10 all come with 20 megapixel secondary cameras, but the 7X only comes with a 2 megapixel secondary camera. The front-facing camera on the Mate 10, Mate 10 Pro, and 7X is an 8 megapixel camera, and on the V10 it's a higher resolution 13 megapixel camera. The Mate 10, Mate 10 Pro, and Honor V10 all come with the Kirin 970, and the Honor 7X comes with the Kirin 659. The Mate 10 Pro and V10 both come with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, or 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. The Mate 10 only comes in the 464 option, and the Honor 7X comes in either 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, or 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage. The Honor 7X has a 3340 mAh battery, the V10 has a 3750 mAh battery, and the Mate 10 and Mate 10 Pro both have 4000 mAh batteries. The Mate 10 actually does not last longer than most competitors because of battery optimization. However, with the Mate 10 Pro, since it has a lower resolution and an OLED display, it actually lasts slightly longer than competitors. The V10 similarly has problems with battery optimization, although it does have about the same battery life as competitors with smaller batteries, around 3000 milliamp hours, and the same is true about the Honor 7X.